Joining me now from New York is Ahmed Bedier. He's an expert on Egyptian politics and president of political advocacy organization, the United Voices Foundation. Thanks so much for joining us. It is highly risky in Egypt right now to take to the streets given the country's anti-protest laws. So what's driving these people to take such a risk? How courageous do they have to be?
Well, it takes a lot of courage, but it's really the straw that broke the camel's back. The government in Egypt has been taking these initiatives against the wishes of the people, and this is something that just put them over the edge. Imagine the ruler of the country, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, giving away part of Egypt to another country without ever consulting the Egyptian people, without going into any type of negotiations, without having any referendum. And this is the first time that anyone ever knew that there was any dispute or that Saudi Arabia even wanted these two islands. So people were shocked by it, and it's a sense of like this country doesn't belong to them, and the person is in charge at the helm is giving away parts of Egypt without even asking them.
And Ahmed, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the police are using a softer hand here, given that this is an illegal gathering against the government.
Well, obviously, they're cautiously, they realize that there's a lot of anger and there's a lot of angry people out there that are not happy with what took place. And they're trying to minimize provoking more protesters. If you remember with the January 25th revolution, it wasn't until that the police used heavy-handed tactics and really cracked down on the protesters did it actually ignite more protests, and they don't want to find themselves in that situation. But definitely, one thing that's clear from all of this is that the people in Egypt are not happy with the current government. They're not happy with the regime. They're actually calling for the end of this regime, and they're repeating slogans that we haven't heard since Mubarak, where they're asking, saying leave, leave, calling on Sisi to leave, and calling for the fall of the regime as well as the end of military rule. So it seems like people have had it, and it's a broad coalition. I mean, you've got young people, old people, all types of different ideological groups, leftists, people on the right, religious people, others, and they're all unified in protesting what's happening. And it seems like it's a move that may continue to grow, but it also sends a message that the government of Sisi is not in full control, and they cannot keep stability in that country if they continue on the same track.
Okay, Ahmed, we're going to leave it there. I'd like to thank you so much for joining us. It is interesting to see something so reminiscent of
Thanks,
the unity in Tahrir Square. Thanks for that again.